Today we are going to talk about Bitot spots by Maria de Los Angeles Alvarez. The topics are definition, pros and cons, application in medicine, and issue applied in Ecuador. Bitot spots, first described by the French physician Pierre Bitot in 1863, in debilitated children, are an important sign for diagnosing vitamin A deficiency. Bitot spots are typically dry appearing triangular patch of serous conjunctiva with a layer of foam on the surface. These lesions are not wetted by the tear film. Bitot spots are more extensive than lesions caused by focal conditions of the ocular surface such as trachoma, burns, and pemphigoid.
In this clinical video on Bitot spots, we will start with clinical and pathological definition. Then we will try to identify the spots in eye. We will review WHO grading of xerophthalmia, in which grade it fits, and finally a case along with its treatment. Bitot spots are small triangular white patches resembling dried foam on the outer and inner sides of the cornea. Foamy appearance of Bitot spots is due to gas production by Corynebacterium xerosis. Pathology.
Application in medicine. In addition to an ocular examination, the evaluation of a patient with Bitot spots involves a careful history, general health exam, and laboratory investigations to determine the underlying cause. In patients presenting with Bitot spots, we evaluate first for malnutrition in the younger age group and for malabsorption in the elderly. The blood tests include serum RBP measurement is relatively simple, is inexpensive, has high specificity and sensitivity, and can be done in less advanced laboratories.
Bitot spots are the buildup of keratin located superficially in the conjunctiva, which are oval, triangular, or irregular in shape. These spots are a sign of vitamin A deficiency and are associated with drying of the cornea. In 1863, Pierre Bitot, 1822–1888, a French physician, first described these spots. In ancient Egypt, this was treated with animal liver, which is where vitamin A is stored. Cause: vitamin A deficiency. Xerophthalmia. Diagnosis: Bitot spot is a sign of vitamin A deficiency. Treatment: vitamin A, beta-carotene. These spots.
Pros and cons. Pros: the major underlying causes of deficiency of vitamin A may be summarized as follows: reduced intake, inadequate food supply, alcoholism, mental illness, and dysphagia, impaired absorption such as Crohn's disease, celiac, short bowel syndrome, and chronic diarrhea, disordered transport such as beta-lipoproteinemia, and reduced storage such as liver disease and cystic fibrosis. The consequences of vitamin A deficiency are a range of ocular manifestations, known collectively as xerophthalmia, including night blindness, conjunctival and corneal cirrhosis, and keratomalacia is an important cause of preventable blindness.
Or lack of nutrition, which is generally seen in the developing countries or because of poverty. Second, are acute or chronic infections, generally seen in children. Third, and the most important, being malabsorption. Malabsorption of generally fats, as vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin. Malabsorption may also be caused due to various further diseases, malabsorption then being the secondary cause. The primary other causes are: first is the colitis, which is inflammation of colon. Second is Crohn's disease, which is also a type of inflammatory bowel disease. And the third is celiac disease. What is celiac disease? Celiac disease is an autoimmune disorder in which antibodies are formed against the gluten. Gluten is a type of protein which is present in the wheat or barley. So these individuals are resistant to eating the wheat or barley products, as whenever they eat gluten, antibodies are formed, autoimmune reaction takes place, resulting in the inflammation of small and large intestine and thus impairing the absorption. There are some other causes which are therapeutic in nature. Therapeutic causes are those causes which are induced by a procedure or medication which is intended to treat some other disease but as an adverse effect causes deficiency of vitamin A or malabsorption of vitamin A. One is bariatric surgery. Bariatric surgery is a surgery performed to reduce the obesity or fat content, performed generally in major two ways, one being the resection of stomach or reduction in the size of stomach, or by gastric bypass. Second is the use of mineral oils as laxative for the treatment of constipation.
Talking about Ecuador, the deficiency of vitamin A is a problem because most people here are poor and don't have access to all the meals and nutrients, so it may be a big issue to discuss due to its consequences such as Bitot spot, blindness, conjunctival cirrhosis, etc.
Million people, nearly 3 times the population of the United States, going hungry. So at the United Nations Habitat Conference in Quito in Ecuador, they're focusing on nutrition. Now, TRT World's Charlotte Dubinsky has been to one project in the city that's already tackling the problem.
It's a heavy burden to bear, but for many mothers in Quito, this is the only way they can work and look after their children. They're part of the city's impoverished underbelly, and many lack access to the food they need. More than a quarter of children in the Ecuadorian capital suffer from severe malnutrition. Studies show that getting access to the right kind of food in the first 5 years of life is pivotal for a child's development, and without it, they're unlikely to reach their full potential.
In conclusion, the deficiency of vitamin A causes Bitot spots through metaplasia of the conjunctival epithelium and tangles of keratin admixed with Corynebacterium cirrhosis, which dwell in the stratum corneum of the conjunctiva. The typical foamy appearance is due to gas produced by this bacteria. Histologically, Bitot spots show keratinization, irregular maturation, inflammatory infiltration, and accumulation of gram-positive bacilli. In developing countries, primary VAD is mainly caused by malnourishment, particularly from decreased intake
Well
of
friends, here
vitamin
have a look at the conjunctiva over the sclera. You can see a triangular area which is actually the deposition of keratin in the conjunctival layer. So this is actually a known as Bitot spot. It can deposit in the form of triangular area or the oval area. This candidate came to us with the complaint of blindness during the night time as well as during the evening hours. So this Bitot spot is usually takes place due to the deficiency of vitamin A.